Right, Gilly's here. Gilbert, what's
Hi
happening?
guys.
What's the good word with
Nothing.
you?
Nothing. Just hanging in there as always.
We're now God, what are we at? We're a little over a month removed from Uncanny Experience, the
Yes.
third year. We saw each other quite a bit that weekend, but to everybody else out there, how was that experience for you?
Uncanny was amazing this year. I got to make more friends, which was really cool. I got to hang out a lot of time with the Solving for X Boys. They have their own podcast, and I got to hang out with them, and I got to meet with them. And because of that experience, I got to be on their podcast. So it was kind of cool. Uh, I did a new cosplay this year, which was everybody says it was amazing, but I it didn't turn out the way I wanted. So it has some work to be done.
Well, cosplayers are always the most critical of their own cosplays every time.
Yes,
Every single time
always.
I've worn a cosplay, people have been like, "Oh my God, it's amazing," and I'm like, "Get your eyes checked. It was terrible."
Yes. But no, I also brought my old faithful Rogue Evolution, which everybody loves. And plus, I got to meet the voice of Rogue in my Evolution Rogue. So that was very cool.
Yeah, that's got to be that was an interesting experience, kind of leaning into the X-Men evolution theme with this year's Uncanny.
Yes. Oh my God. It was so amazing. I was like, this year, I lost count of how many Evolution Rogues I saw. And I saw, I think, two kitties, which was really cool because you don't see that version of kitty very often at all. Uh, who it was Abby. Abby did it. Abby did one of the versions, which was really cool. I liked hers.
Hmm. Yeah, and if you know Amy Uncanny, she did one too. That was a nice throwback. All of a sudden, seeing all
Yeah,
these kitties and rogues from Evolution running around, it was like, oh yeah, that was
I think the big surprise for me was seeing the guy dressed up as Blob from
yeah.
X Men Evolution. I thought that I was like, why does he look familiar, and why can't I place it? And then at the after party, I saw it. I'm like, oh crap, he's Blob. I was like, this is awesome. But they were doing interviews the whole weekend. I thought that was really cool. I was like, I wonder if he has a podcast or if he's just a channel on something. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I've seen him. I don't, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I've seen he's posted a lot of those interviews on Instagram.
Okay, cool.
Whether it was for a bigger project or not, or just that. I mean, either way, it was really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. And then when he saw, I think was it Michelle? I think it was Michelle. When he saw Michelle dressed as Jean, he went up and gave her a big hug. I was like, dude, that is just freaking cool. I love that so much.
Yeah, it was once again, we're of the OG crew that have been to every Uncanny so far.
No, I was not at the
You
original.
weren't at the first one, were you?
Yes,
Oh,
remember I had to cancel last minute.
that's right. Oh, that's too
I
bad.
was I was supposed to be there. I was there in spirit.
Uh-huh.
It was funny because after the first year and the fact that I didn't go and everybody was asking, "Hey, where's Gilly?" Apparently, I became the legend that year. I was like, "What do you?" I was like, "Wait, what do you mean legend?" I was like, everybody said, "Oh, so you're Gilly?" I'm like, I don't know how to take that. I was like, "What do you mean you're Gilly?" I'm like, okay, yes, maybe."
It's a good thing.
Unless it's bad. If it's a bad thing, I'm not Gilly. I swear.
Well, that's how you always know, because if it was a bad thing, they wouldn't mention it. They would
Yeah,
just under their breath be like, "Oh, that's Gilly," like.
yeah, yeah. It was funny because I had someone pop up in my DMs after, I think 2 weeks after Uncanny, and they said, "Hey, we missed you." I was like, huh? What? I was like, what do you mean you missed me? They're like, you didn't show up to Uncanny. And we were really looking forward to it. I was like, oh, thank you. I was like, yeah, I had something come up. I wasn't able to make it last minute. They're like, oh, you're going next year, right? I was like, oh, 100% for sure. I'm going to be there every year, no matter what. But I was like, well, who are you guys? they were they were a couple, and I was like, oh, okay, I know who you are now because they're part of the Fit Fam group, and I was like, oh, okay, and I became really good friends with them since. And I thought it was the coolest thing. I was like, I didn't even go to Uncanny, and I made friends at Uncanny.
Yeah, that's the great thing about Uncanny is that
Yeah.
it is such a family vibe. Because yeah, and then last year we had a few legends because the East Coast got hit with a whole bunch of storms and a bunch of people like
Yes.
flights had to be canceled, so they had to cancel coming, and it was like, oh no. Yeah. Good crew, good, fantastic. I assume you're coming back for senior year.
Oh yeah, of course. Can't. Plus, Lenore's back.
Yes, we just saw that, just recently
I
announced.
saw. I literally just posted that before I connected with you.
Yeah, you and me both.
I was like, oh, she's back. Yes.
Yeah, I kind of like, I know that they did a lot of the original voice actors and X-Men 97 actors for
Mhm.
freshman year and sophomore year. But I really
Yes.
hope for senior year they bring a lot of those back because that was like so cool to
Yeah,
have
me
those
too.
people there.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Allison comes. That would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
She was there freshman year. Um, not shocked. You're talking about Allison Court, right?
No, Allison Seeley Smith.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I gotta imagine she will be.
I. But to have her and Lenore there at the same time, dude,
Yes.
my
Yes.
heart will like. I just like I will be overblown. I'm like, okay, two amazing women. No, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
And hopefully we can get Ross there. He's been wanting to come. Um,
Yes, right.
yeah, so hopefully they get him in. I know like for not this last year, but sophomore year, he was like basically begging. He's like, I want to come, I want to come, I want to come. So I'm hoping for senior year he ends
Yeah,
up on the list because he'd be amazing to have there.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, what is your uh, what was it? The post they made. What is your major get? I was like, Sir Patrick, Sir Ian McKellen. Um, can we get the younger versions too, like Fassbender and
Oh,
the other
McAvoy.
McAvoy? I'm like, because I was like, you're asking for big gets. Those are big gets, and especially with Doomsday coming out next year, that would be fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
God only knows what the asking price is on those folks.
Yeah,
Um,
I know it's ridiculous, but
yeah,
that would be amazing.
yeah. If they asked, I put down Jim Lee. I'm like, let's go. Which is not. I don't think it's easy, but it's not outside the realm of
Not
possibility.
out, so yeah, it's not the out of the realm of possibility.
Hmm.
But I saw someone who put he who should not be named. I was like, no, no, we should not bring him at all. We can't stand him. Please don't bring him in.
Are we talking about Kang?
No, we're talking about oh God, what is his name? He was one of the creators of Deadpool.
Oh, Leafield?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, thank you.
yeah.
No,
No, I
no,
can't. That guy.
that guy is a. I've unfortunately seen him in person,
Hmm.
and he holds up to what you've heard. I was like, wow. I was like, wow, okay. Someone just asked him a question. He went off. I'm like, dude, it was an honest question.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like, what the hell? Yeah, so
That's a guy who like I could go on forever about, but like the most recent thing is that he got the red carpet invite to Deadpool and Wolverine, but did not get invited to the swanky VIP party and was so angry and his ego so bruised over it that now his whole thing on social media is just going on social media and trashing MCU movies. That's all he does now. And it's like, buddy, I don't know what to
seriously,
tell you. You're not what you think you are. You're not you're not Marvel Jesus.
no,
No.
it's not Marvel Jesus in any way, shape, or form.
Well, and the sad thing is, and I love having these conversations because you're like a comic guy, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when it comes to his creation of the Deadpool, I always felt like his contribution
He's
to
a,
the creation of Deadpool was very minimal.
it was very minimal. He had more to do with Cable, X Force, Domino, but he had very, very, very little to do with the Deadpool that we know.
Hmm.
The Deadpool he created was the Merc, not the Merc with the mouth, just the Merc.
Hmm.
He was very silent. He didn't have a mouth on him at all, so he wasn't funny.
Hmm.
He was just a straight Merc. And it wasn't until years later that I don't know who it was that created the Merc with the mouth persona, but dude, yes, that was the Deadpool we all know and love. It
Hmm.
wasn't until then, but Liefeld's Deadpool, no. I mean, it was just like, oh, it's a guy in a suit.
Yeah, yeah, and
And
they threw him in there at the very end of a New Mutants issue.
yes,
Um,
exactly.
and you can give Rob credit for like the initial visual design for sure. And I think
That's it.
in that issue, like he shows up and he's just supposed to be like a throwaway mercenary who just shows up for the story. And Cable quickly subdues him, and upon him being subdued, he makes like some kind of joke or something. But other than that, it was like, but
Yeah, and it was like a throwaway joke.
yeah,
So it wasn't like something he's known for. So it's just like, okay, well, if this guy comes back, maybe it might be interesting.
yeah, yeah. And were you an Image Comics guy? Like when that whole thing started?
I was into Spawn, but that's about it for Image Comics. I didn't
Mhm.
like any of the others. I know there was a couple others that he like created and he loved and everything, but I do know there was a character that kind of looked exactly like Deadpool
Yeah.
in Image Comics. And I was like, there was another. I think it was called a character called Prophet that looked almost exactly like Cable.
Oh yeah.
And I think the character was called Prophet, if I remember correctly, because he had a metal arm and he was this big ass badass dude.
Yeah, there was so it was for like first of all, Image was crazy. I was like that person like you. I was into the Spawn. Um
Yes,
at the time I was a big fan of Jim Lee's X-Men, so when he went over and started Wildcats, I was all over that. Um
I
but
thought Wildcats was pretty cool concept, but I couldn't get into it.
mhm.
It was just a little too far out there for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, and they did all that, and Rob Liefeld, his book was Youngbloods, and
Yes.
it was like overnight, as excited as everybody was, and like Wills was doing, I think, Witchblade, um, for all the hype that all of those Image titles had when they came out. Youngbloods was the one who was like, after like two issues, everybody was like, all it is splash pages, and the story's not even good. Like,
No.
what are we doing? But then you see years
Mhm.
later, as over the course of time, other writers come along and make Deadpool Deadpool. Now all of a sudden
Mhm.
Rob's like, oh my God, it's I'm relevant. I'm relevant. I can show up to all these
No,
things and
you're
talk about
not.
how I created Deadpool.
No,
And I deserve
no,
all the
you're
credit and
not.
all the praise and all the yada yada
Yes,
yada yada.
that see, That's the one thing I always hated. He's all, oh, I create. No, you're a co-creator.
Hmm.
That's it.
Yeah,
I was like, you came up with the original concept. That's it. But you did not make Deadpool Deadpool
right.
in
Yeah.
any way, shape, or form.
So yeah, I think you're right on point, and that like he does not need to be a guest at Uncanny. We'll be okay.
Oh God, no, 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 not at all. Please God, no. Chandler, Chris, Dylan, don't do it.
Right.
Don't,
Yeah.
just
I
don't do it.
I
Just don't
don't
do it.
think they will. I'm not. I don't.
No, neither do I. I think they hate him too, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not laying awake at night worrying about it. Um, the we've had like personal conversations about this, but again, I'm like sort of like for the listener's sake, like going back, if we talk about X-Men, we talk about X-Men comics. What was like your introduction to that?
My introduction to X-Men comics was the Claremont era. I came in during the Phoenix Saga. My very first issue that I ever purchased of X-Men was Professor Xavier is a jerk. I was like, wait, why is this young girl calling out someone named Professor X? And why is he a jerk? I need to see this. I was like, okay, then let's read. And then I read the book. I was like, oh, hell yes. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I love this. What's this? So I went back and I went back and bought all of the back issues from the beginning of the Phoenix Saga and just went from there. I've been a fan ever since.
Ooh. What's your favorite X-Men character?
You know this, and you go, you
No,
from
let's hear
You're
this
Lit
for
Live,
no, it's
You're
for the
Lit
fans.
Live with Michelle. Ooh, my
A fight with
God.
Michelle.
Yes.
What? I wouldn't
My
call it a
my
fight.
no, it wasn't a fight, but you might have one with me. My two favorite X-Men is Storm, our goddess queen, and Nightcrawler,
Hmm.
who I have always called the heart of the X-Men.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's like here's not, and this isn't a fight because I'm going to tell you why. Because my favorite character, and has been since I was a kid, is Wolverine. Now, in the decades, Wolverine has become such an oversaturated character that now when you mention it, people snicker at you. I don't care. It's still my favorite character. People are entitled to their opinions. I doesn't mind. The one thing I will say though, the one thing I found hilarious is somebody on Instagram a couple months ago made her mention that Instagram story that the reason they didn't like Wolverine because Wolverine was a marketing gimmick. And my immediate thought was they all are. That's the point is to sell. Like I don't why you would say that.
Every every character is a marketing gimmick.
Yeah,
What
that's
I,
exactly what it is.
I'm I'm sorry, but I was like, have you met the world?
Right.
They're all marketing gimmicks.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that he overtook everything else because he became so popular. And okay, let's get to the point there. He became popular with white men
Hmm.
who love that type of rugged exterior on a character who took no bullshit.
Hmm.
Not always the best fan group to have, um,
Well,
but
yeah, the problem is, as the straight white guy, I will
yes,
say the issue that you have sometimes with Wolverine is the same issue that you have with Frank Castle. And it's that they are
yes,
really good characters, but you have certain people out there as a lightning rod who are taking the worst aspects of that character and
specs of that character.
let it
Yes,
legitimize a
exactly.
personality that they have. And
Yes,
that's not
exactly.
okay. That's an
Yeah.
issue. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I've always felt that way.
Yeah.
Like anytime I see a pickup truck with a Punisher sticker in the back window, I'm like, bro, Frank Castle would put 300 rounds through your Hemi. I don't know how to tell you that. Like,
Right? Yeah, exactly. Frank Castle would take out your truck so fast it would be
mhm,
ridiculous. He's out. Why are you promoting me?
right.
Um, but yeah, with Logan, don't get me wrong. I think Logan. I've always liked Logan. He's not. I'll admit he's not in my top 15. He's in my top 20, but he's not
Hmm.
in my top 15. Laura, no, she's in my top 15. I
Hmm.
I like her better as Wolverine than I like Logan,
Yeah,
but that's just personal preference.
right.
But again, because of the oversaturation.
Hmm. Yeah, and
But I
that's
mean, I still love. It's like Gail Simone. I love what she's doing with Logan. The
mhm,
fact that she's beating up the PTSD, the fact that he's making him more, seeing more him as a family guy. I love that. His
mhm,
connection with Kurt, his connection with Rogue, his connection with Jubilee, all of it, and the kids. I think it's really cool.
mhm,
His personal comic, not so much.
mhm,
After the first run, after the first arc, it ended. I'm like, okay, you had Curtin there, so I stayed. And the what's his name? The Wendigo, the new Wendigo. I liked that storyline very much.
mhm,
I thought it was very cool, but I don't think they gave Logan very much characterization at all.
mhm,
It's just his old trope, and it's like, oh well, I got to see his friendship with Kurt. I got to see him help raise a new a new kid that he found, a new orphan that he found, and he's helping him. Which that is uh, old Logan, and it's always been something he's always done. But this time it's a boy, which
mhm.
was weird, but that's good.
Yeah, that's one area that I wish that these, as we talked about, these like these toxic men who are, get into all that, is that Wolverine also has a very long history of mentoring and or looking out for friends who, at least attitude wise, are significantly more gentle than he is. He's always had a
Yes,
really good relationship with Kitty Pryde, with Jubilee, with Armor, with Peter Parker, with Kurt. And now we're seeing it again here, and I that doesn't get taken
I
into
to-
account.
I totally forgot about the relationship with Peter. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's true.
Yeah. It was one of my favorite panels. It was shortly, I'm just going to say it was shortly after a presidential election in real life. Now, the comic came as Norman Osborn had just become head of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Peter Parker's perched
Oh
on,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and Peter Parker's Spider-Man is perched on a building, and all he can think about is rage. He just wants to go take this guy out. And he turns and looks, and Wolverine is crouched there next to him, and he's basically talking him down. And he says, "Hey,
Yeah,
by the way, it was a pain in the ass, but it took 4 years to get the last guy out of here." And they fist bump each other, and it's like that's the
that's
attitude
true.
that you want
Yeah.
to have. But I do want to say, in my defense, this was at the core of the whole Storm thing, is that I agree very much with you. Do I have an issue with Storm? No. Do I think she's a good character? Absolutely. But if Michelle, for those of you who don't know, Michelle and I were doing a live when we were doing F Mary Kill, and one of the ones that came up, Storm's name was in there, and just like you, I like Storm, not in my top three. So therefore, ugh, if I had to kill one of the three, it was going to be a Roro.
How could you?
I wish I remember who else was in that grouping because that would probably give it even more
It
context.
was it was Aurora Jean, and was it Emma or was it Rogue?
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah. I mean, out of those three, an argument
Kill
can be
Jean.
made.
Kill Jean.
I can't. I can't bring myself to do it. I can't bring myself to do it. That's the problem. You see, it's because, like I mentioned in the thing, is that falling in love with Jean Grey as a child is why I love redheads today.
Yes, I
Don't
know, I
think
know, I
I
know.
don't think I could bring myself to, you know?
Don't get me wrong. I like Jean, but out of those three, yeah, I'm sorry, you're gone, bitch. Sorry.
And
I was like, so my answer to that would be fuck Rogue, marry Aurora and kill Jean.
Ah, she fainted hearing that.
Probably, yes.
That's okay. Yeah, that are you reading out of the you said Wolverine. Here's the thing though. Here's what's interesting about
Yeah.
the Wendigo thing that has got some people up in arms. If you've read like the Age of Revelation previews, is that the new Wolverine book basically that child and the Wendigo has taken over the mantle of Wolverine.
Yes.
Now, people are upset, and I think understandably so, that the issue is that the Wendigo is a Native American spirit, and there
Yes.
are no First Nation people working on this book, which has some people kind of like, "Ugh, that's
Yes, that was very cringeworthy.
mhm.
I do like the concept though,
Oh, I like the concept,
because
yeah.
the concept, and remember what the title was, the last Wolverine.
Hmm.
I was like, they're going to have, as Alicia calls him, Lindigo, become the last Wolverine. Really? And it's not going to be Laura because Laura became Sabretooth.
Right, yeah.
I, I'm sorry, but I fucking love that.
You're right, yeah.
I love that. I'm like, wait. She gave up the mantle to become Sabretooth?
Uh-huh.
Really? I'm like, okay. I can 100% get behind that damn book.
Yeah. And I
But yes, I totally agree with you. It is cringeworthy that not a First Nation person is working on that book.
mhm.
It is kind of very disheartening, especially when Marvel has a lot of First Nation people working at Marvel Comics. So it could go either way.
Mhm.
If they treat the character well, okay. But if for some reason they just do something bad with the character, oh, all hell is going to be breaking
Yeah.
loose, and I could understand why.
Well, and before we get that, because I definitely want to get into the Age of Revelation stuff. Out of the
Revelation,
current, yeah, Revel, whatever, whatever they're calling it now. The
the Age of Revelation, yeah.
yeah, the current like from the ashes era that we've been in. What have been your upvotes and your downvotes in that whole story?
Um, my upvotes is, of course, Uncanny X-Men #1. #2, almost a tie, would be X-Men. Um, at first, I wasn't so sure about it. The first
Right.
issue, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" It wasn't, but then it started to build, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay, I see." And it's actually making me like Cyclops, which is weird because I hate that man like
Oh,
nobody's business.
come on.
But out of X-Men, because of X-Men '97, because of the Krakoan era, because of his writing in From the Ashes X-Men. Damn, I like Cyclops. What the hell's wrong with me? Because I've hated that man for years. Ever since he left Maddie for Jean, I've hated the man. But dude, he's crushing it. His character, they're crushing his character in X-Men. It's amazing.
Hmm.
Um, my other books is, of course, Storm. I love what they're doing in her book.
Hmm.
Um, I I want to be behind the Avengers book because my girl is in it, but the writing isn't there.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry if she's not leading the group. Why is she in there? I'm sorry. She should 100% be the leader of the Avengers.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. If out of everybody on that team who's been a leader, it should be Storm.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, but I was like, I was like, no disrespect to Carol at all, but yeah, no, no, it's got to be stored. uh, so no, I'm not a big fan of the X Men book. Um, Psylocke, 100% loved.
Hmm.
I'm kind of disappointed it ended. I love how it ended.
Hmm.
I 100% loved how it ended. I hope it picks up after the Age of Revelation. I hope they bring it back or do like a combo book or something. But I hope they bring Kwannon her a new story because she has to continue her story.
Hmm.
I look forward to it so much. Magic, 100% behind it.
Hmm.
I love that damn book. I've loved every effing cover for those books.
Hmm.
The cover, not just the regular cover, all the variant covers, they have been amazing.
Hmm.
I was like, they were killing it, but the story itself, I'm sorry, you bring Danny in on a book, you know I'm 100% there. Oh my god, I love this so much. I was like, and she. I don't know how, but the writer, she has her voice for some reason, and it's just hypnotizing.
Hmm.
It's just so damn good.
Hmm.
Um, and I want to see where she goes. I want to see where she goes after when they get back. I want to see where she goes in Age of Revelation because that's looking very interesting. But I also want to see where they go from there,
Hmm.
especially for magic, because I don't think it's going to be magic in Age of Revelation. I think it's Darkchild.
Okay.
So that's a little. This is going to get interesting. This is
Yeah.
going to get dark. This is going to get
Hmm.
dark. um, I like what they did with Jean. I like that she is Phoenix. I love that. I love the new suit. I think it's amazing. Story, on the other hand, it took a while for me to get into it. Um, they started off bad with the artwork for that book. The artwork, especially with people copying from previous artwork, it didn't hit well. It didn't sit well with me, even though the story was interesting. Um, I'm glad the first arc is over. It ended. It ended. Uh, I hope and I pray that Jean and Cyclops are separated. That's what I want. I want Jean to be away from Cyclops. I think that is a bad relationship for both of them. For both of them too,
Hmm.
because they depend on each other way too much, and we kind of saw that at the X Vigil, and it was only because of her talking him down that he actually ended up going. So I was like, we need to stop this codependency, please, for once. Just stop it, because she can do. I hate to say it, she can do so much better, and so can he. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'd love to see who he would end up with.
Hmm.
I don't want to say it, but I still like him and Emma.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh, I think him and what's her name? I want to say Jade Cargill. um, you know who I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
Not, she was an X Factor.
Oh,
Not Cecilia Reyes. I can't. For the life of me, it's right there. It's on the tip of my tongue.
um, oh Lord.
She was in Sword.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking. I can't place her name though. Um, hmm. I gotta look it up.
But it's driving me crazy. But in one of the ultimate versions of one of the storylines, him and her were in a relationship, and for the life of me, it's killing me now that I can't name her, and I love her as a character.
Uh, Frenzy?
Frenzy, yes,
Yeah.
Frenzy,
Hmm.
Frenzy. I think him and Frenzy would be an interesting pair
Hmm.
because she was in love with him in. I think the storyline was Age of X when Legion did something and he was called Basilisk.
Okay.
He was with Frenzy, and she remembered the whole thing from when that happened and their relationship, and she wanted to try to make that work, but he never did. They went back, and it was a whole weird thing. But I thought that would be interesting.
Hmm. For a long time, Dylan always said, and I felt like he had a solid argument here. He said the reason that he was not a fan of Jean Grey is because Jean Grey, if she didn't have the Phoenix Force
Scott.
taking over her or was Scott's girlfriend, there wasn't much there because it was just the way
Yeah.
they treated her character in the books. So when
Mhm.
Phoenix first started, I thought, well, I was one of those people at the beginning of From the Ashes where like I'm just going to pick up all the titles and then decide as I get a few issues in. And
Exactly.
I almost gave up on Phoenix a few issues in. I decided to keep going with it. It ended up one of my favorite books, and Stephanie Phillips ended up one of my favorite writers to the point where now I'm
Yes.
reading other books that she's writing, like Ghost Spider, and
Mhm.
might have her on the podcast next month. Fingers crossed. Um, but yeah, I really like that one, and I'm excited that she's going to be writing the binary book for the new age that we have coming.
Ah,
Hmm.
very cool.
Did you were you an NYX person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was that. I'm sorry. I'm devastated by how that ended.
Hmm.
I agree. I agree 100% with Alicia and Justin. I don't understand why that book was canceled
Yeah.
because it was better by far, even though its front runner was Miss Marvel. It was one of the better books. I'm sorry, I can't stand that damn character. I don't like Miss Marvel. I don't. I'm sorry. I love her. I love her on the show, and I love her in the movies. I hope to see her character again in the MCU, but in the books, I do not like that they made her me.
Hmm.
I
They that was one of the ones that I was like I think sad and legitimately upset about. Like I understand that in the run of X-Men comics, like you have if you're going to have books, you have to have unfortunately an X Factor book, you have to have an X-Force book, but NYX was superior to both of those books in every single way. That for NYX to be canceled and not X-Force or X Factor or
100%.
yeah, I was so upset when that one got axed. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That was like one of the ones I legitimately would get excited, like heading to the comic book store, knowing there was a new issue out.
Yes, exactly. Well, the thing I loved about NYX is that they gave us a whole view of everything that it was embodying. It wasn't just, oh, it's this team. It was never a team. They
Hmm.
were never a team. They were just a community. And I loved what they did for the Morlocks.
Hmm.
Loved what they did for the Morlocks. I
Hmm.
thought it was like they are their own nation. They created their own nation, and even um, I just like Sobanar was there. Caliban. I'm sorry. I've been waiting for years for that character to just step up and be a front runner. And I was like, damn, they finally did it.
Hmm.
And they made him look good too. That was
Yeah.
the best part. I was like, oh. I was like, wait, he back to being muscly? I was like, ooh, hello, Caliban. But yeah, I was like, dude, this was a great book. And I was like, and then they canceled it. I was like, wait, what? What do you do?
Mhm.
Man, come on. I was
Yeah.
like, and where they wanted to go with it, I was like,
Hmm.
and then they brought a different version of Mojo,
Yeah.
which was even more menacing than usual. So I was
Yeah.
like, fuck. I was like,
Scary,
come
creepy.
on, man. Why are you doing this dirty? Yeah, exactly. I was like, he was scary and creepy to begin with, but this was even a weirder version. And it was great.
Yeah. Yeah. What
But
do you think
yeah,
about our age, our new age coming in a little over a month?
I'm I'm interested a lot. I'm 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 interested to find out where we went from Doug being stepping into the role of Revelation, where we ended in X Men. What was it, 19?
Hmm.
And then Age of Revelation Requiem. I think it was Zero.
Hmm.
Was that the name of the book?
I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
and where they went from, yeah, where they went, and I was like, whoa, 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 what the hell's going on? That's a huge fucking step, because he's already Revelation. At the end of X Men 19, he was still Doug,
Mm.
and I was like, wait, okay. First off, where's Warlock? Where's Bay? Where'd Bay go? I was like, you don't see Bay at all, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Of course, it's X years later, so we don't know exactly what happened.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm interested to see. I will say there's too many damn titles.
It is a level
There's
of it is a level of market saturation for sure.
It is a ridiculous amount of titles.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I know it's maybe only 3 books each of each book, but damn, that's a lot of fucking titles. I think what was it? Justin and Alicia went over it the other day. I think they counted what, 22, 23 books for this whole run. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, really? 23 books?
Yeah.
I was like, I'll make you. I'll do the. I'll do the core books. That's it. I ain't doing. I was like, don't get me wrong. I love Cloak and Dagger, but no, uh,
Yeah.
no, just no. And it's gonna be Cloak or Dagger.
Hmm.
No, not interested. Um, Binary, yes, I'm interested. Um, it actually seems like a really cool, interesting story where they're going to go with it. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, okay. The one that has me a little scared is Storm Rogue,
Hmm.
where Rogue is hunting down Storm. I'm like, well, wait, what? What did you do to my girls? What? What? No, they're friends. What? What? I I hate you. I hate you people. Um, the core X stories seem very interesting. Um, Sinister Six, yes, 100%. I want that story. Just, I'm like, okay, you said Black Cat. Yeah, I'm in. What, and the Danny Moonstar led Avengers.
Hmm.
About damn time.
Right.
Although although she's carrying Captain America's shield,
Hmm.
I will say I have a problem with that. You have a One Nation character carrying America's symbol. I kind of have a problem with that.
I'll say as a caveat to that, not that I don't 100% see where you're coming from, but I have felt for a long time that Captain America as a mantle and Captain America's shield represents not America, but everything that America should be. Not what it's done, not what it is, but
Okay.
what it should be. And if that's the case, then yeah,
With
I'm
that
for it.
viewpoint, yes, okay. With that viewpoint, I can get behind it. But I just thought, I was like, ooh, that's gonna touch a lot of nerves.
That'll be the line in the opening comic. How'd you get Cap Shield? I offed Whitey. It's mine now.
Okay, if we go with that storyline, I'm 100% behind it.
who, who let
100%.
Mark
Oh
Wade
my
back in here?
god.
Oh God. Yeah, some
I
of the I
yeah.
I feel like part of it is that I was just some of the From the Ashes books like Gales, I was enjoying so much that I'm sad that that's
Yeah.
ending. Even though she is writing a book in
Yes.
the new but yeah, I feel like a year and a half, some of those books I was just really getting into the groove of and really enjoying, like Magic and Psylocke
Mm-hmm.
and Uncanny, and now it's
100%.
just like Thanos snap and we're in a different reality now.
Right?
Mm,
Well, the worst part is that they didn't tell anybody. It all of a sudden it just happened, and you're like, wait, what's going on? Why are we doing a huge major crossover? And we
yeah.
just got out of one world under doom. Come
Hmm.
on, now it's all encompassing. Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
And I feel like it's going to run for a while because they've already said they don't have a definite end to it. They're just going to run.
Well, they didn't have a definite beginning to it either. So I was like,
Right.
what the hell's going on?
Right.
So, well, okay, when you don't have the comic book store people not knowing what the hell this is, that says something. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, did they just come out? Did this come out of somebody's ass? What the
Yeah.
hell's going on here?
Yeah.
I was like,
I
don't
think
get me wrong. I'm very 100% interested to see where the story goes.
mhm.
I do not think it has to be all encompassing like it's going to be. But I want to see where it goes. I want to see what caused everything to get to where it's at.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm creative. I'm one of those people I try to when it comes to movies, books, comics, like I'm human, but I try really hard to reserve full judgment until I've devoured it. So there's part of me
Yes,
that's like, okay, like sit back, relax, you're an X-Men fan, read the books, check it out. But there
we
are
know
still
how this goes.
right, there are still some of them where I'm like, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
uh,
Um,
the
yeah,
radioactive Spider-Man. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm like, what? What? Really?
Hmm.
Okay. Sure. It's bad
Yeah,
enough what they did in Spider-Man's normal run, but now you're going to make him radioactive.
yeah. I don't.
Great. Poor
Yeah,
Peter.
I
I'm
don't know.
sorry, Peter.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me say it on the live, but I my personal like fan theory is they what happened is they want to give the X universe a big shakeup. And when they decide that this shakeup is done and this age is over, they get to do something that brings everything back to ground zero. That brings everything back to Xavier's mansion, brings us back to the Blackbird, brings us back to that era of X-Men, which importantly will time with right about the time the X-Men movie in the MCU comes out. That's my theory of
Do
what's
you
going
really
on
think?
here.
I hope not. I really do, because that means you're going to do away with everything that happened with Krakoa. You're going to do away with everything that's progressed from Krakoa and into the ashes that was
Yeah.
good.
But I think there's a way to do it without doing that because it doesn't have to mean like it's back in time. Let's just say we revert to a time where
Yeah, but
everything has happened, but
but but they are using time to get to where they're going. There
well,
will
they
be
have
time
to.
travel with this
Well,
story, which is
what I'll say is that because of the fact that we're going X years into the future, right? That eventually we have to come X years to the past, right? And
back.
I would love it
Yes,
if they were going to do that if we got to a point where we came to a period there in From the Ashes where human mutant relations have gotten at least a little bit better to the point where like Scott and Rogue are like, hey, you know what? We should rebuild the school. We should teach these kids. We should, yeah. And then you can have Jean come back to Earth and, you know,
I'm okay. I'm okay with that as long as we don't bring Charles back.
oh, he'll be back. He's the BD energy. He's
No,
gonna,
no, 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 no,
yeah,
no. We
yeah.
don't. No,
You
we
can't
need to
handle it.
kill his ass off, and
No.
finally, just finally, we need to kill his ass off. I'm sorry, it's bad enough we sent. It's bad enough we sent him off into space to go fuck that up. Um, I was like, just let him fucking die. I mean, how many chances are we gonna give this sucker?
Yeah, no,
I was like,
no.
he he's the worst person in the universe. Now the universe. I was like, oh, fucking hell.
No, they're gonna get about
I was like,
issue three of the school being back, and all of a sudden Xavier's like Kendrick Lamar's gonna start playing, and like Xavier's gonna come rolling in a new pimped out
God,
chair, and he's gonna be like, "What's up? Check the name on the lease. Guess whose house this is? Let's go."
fucking hell. I hate that man.
Is there
I've hated him for years. I will continue.
here's a question, and here's a question for you. Is
Yes.
there a way, any way, storyline wise, they could redeem Charles Xavier?
No.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. After all the bullshit he's done over the years, no. I mean, you want to know how they can redeem him? Kill his ass off. That's how they can redeem him. Keep him dead.
What if, and I'm spitballing here, what if they did a thing where somebody physically cloned Xavier and he didn't know he's a clone? Like, he doesn't have any of Xavier's memories. He has his powers, but he's kind of like raised. And then eventually he gets to the point of being like 25, 26 years old. And they download all of real Xavier's memories into his brain. And then he's like, oh my God, I was a piece of shit. Oh my God, I can't believe I did all that. Guys, I mean, I know it wasn't me, but I'm so sorry. Like, is there anything I
Yeah.
can do to like help y'all and support y'all? And
But then, okay, you've had him being raised for 25 years and then give him back his memories.
yeah.
You don't see the bad in that.
Well,
I'm sorry. I see. Oh, look, here comes Onslaught again. Way to go. Way
right.
to go,
But
people. Thank you. We
let me
needed that
say,
again.
let's say this. Let's say there is an alternate version of you that is out there that has done a lot of really, really, really bad stuff. And someday somebody comes along and takes the memories of the bad Gilly and gives them to you, says, oh, by the way, this is what bad Gilly did. Would that change you as a person? Like, would it turn you into bad Gilly? Or would you just be like ashamed that somebody who looked and talked and walked like you was a piece of garbage?
I'd probably be the second part of that.
Yeah, see? See? So what
I'd
if
be
that's your
so
Xavier?
ashamed. Yes, but again, Xavier never thought he did wrong.
Right. But clone Xavier will. He'll be like, dude, you did all this. You were like the textbook narcissist. Like you thought you were doing everything for the good without ever admitting that you were doing it to your own self-serving ends.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I never see Charles being a good guy again. I just don't. I
I I
well,
can't argue
okay.
that.
I'm sorry, but no, I can't. I'm sorry. I've said this since House of X started. I House of X and Powers of X. Moira isn't the only villain. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, it's Moira and Charles. Period. And look how it. I mean, he's like, don't get me wrong, Moira was a bitch,
Hmm.
and I thought she was the perfect villain for that age. But damn, Charles was just as bad.
Hmm.
The only one who didn't turn out to be the worst person was Magneto.
Hmm.
He sacrificed himself for his people,
Hmm.
which is what he has always done. So yeah,
Fair.
I'm not interested to see where they're taking him in this new Age of Revelation. I'm sorry, Magneto with the cape of feathers. What the hell is that?
Yeah. Yeah, and as another note, we didn't see Charles in any of the previews of any of the new issues.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
He was one of the notable
Because well, he's still
absentees.
in space dealing with. He better be. We don't need him. It's already fucked up as it is. Why do we need Charles to fuck it up even more?
I'm gonna start a sweepstakes of everybody taking bets on what week into the new age that Charles shows up, and whoever gets it gets like a free autographed comic or something.
Well, see now. This is what I'm dying to find out, and it's a storyline that hasn't been mentioned since I think it's not X Manhunt Raid on Grey Malkin. Who the fuck is Prisoner X?
Yeah, they totally left that just
It's just hanging there.
yeah.
And it's driving me crazy because no one has brought it up. I think the only one who keeps talking about it is me and Justin.
Yeah, because it was
And
completely
we both have theories of who it is. He thinks it's Legion.
hmm.
I think it's Nate Gray.
Okay.
And the solving to this, now you're going to laugh. The solving for X Boys, they say it's Dupe.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. I
I was like, I was like, for joke reasons, I hope that turns out to be true because that would be fucking hilarious. It really would. But God no, it better not be fucking Dupe. I'd be so pissed.
I don't.
Yeah, I was like, well, it could be Legion
Hmm.
because we haven't seen him, and there's been no mention of him at all. So that could be a very possibility. That could be a possibility. But I'm hoping above all hope it's Night Gray. I think that would be just like the shot in the dark, like, oh shit, he's back.
My personal theory is that it's soft serve. That's who I think it is. But because y'all ain't ready because she went through her secondary mutation and they haven't shown it yet. But no, the wild thing is like when From the Ashes started, they were like they kept referencing Prisoner X, Prisoner X,
Prisoner
Prisoner X.
X.
But
Yeah.
it's not
Yes,
Charles
exactly.
Xavier. You think it's Charles Xavier, but it's not. It's somebody worse. And then
No.
after Great and Gray Malkin,
Yeah.
it just dropped
As
off the radar.
yeah, and then X Manhunt came out, and I'm like, okay, well, he's out of prison now, but who's Prisoner X?
Yeah,
You didn't even mention that. It's like,
yeah.
okay, well, it's somebody. Okay, first off, if it's somebody worse than Charles, who the fuck is it?
Gold balls.
Because that says so much. No, because he's in Krakoa.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he went off.
gold balls.
Except for the
You
minority
just
thing, I want
wanted
to
me
cosplay
to.
that.
Yeah.
Any chance I can get to mention gold balls on a podcast, I'll do it. One of my
I'm
favorite lines
sorry, I hate that name so much.
that was like one of my favorite lines from the Bendis run when they temporarily lost their powers and got him back. And Goldball says, "My balls are working again," and Emma just says, "Wording." But there we are, Gilly. We plowed through an hour of this thing.
Yes.
We made it fantastic. We made it fun. You're a dear friend. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming on. I'm sure we will do this again in the
Always.
future. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not following Gilly on the Instagram, go do it. He's a good guy. And yeah,
Yes.
I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you, Gilly, for coming on.
Oh, and if you're going to be at Long Beach Comic Con this weekend, I will be doing an X-Men panel with Michelle, London, and Align. So come see us.
Yes, I hope you guys end up with video of that because I really want to see it. But yeah,
Knowing who's putting it on, we probably will have a video
good,
somehow. So,
good. Well, I
all
hope
right,
that
buddy.
goes fantastic for you guys. We're gonna get out of here, folks, but we will see you again next time.